Hey everyone, welcome to Best Life by You, the podcast dedicated to helping you overcome challenges around nutrition, mindset, training, relationships, and well, all of the above. I'm your host, Julia, and today we are going to be talking about a very unique topic, something that's also spoken a lot about with my clients, and it typically gets thrown around a lot: caloric deficit, surplus, and maintenance. So what do they actually mean? How do you know which one you're in? And how do you hit all your goals without feeling like you're dieting or overeating? So let's just get into it. What is a calorie? Calories are simply a unit of energy, your body's fuel. Think of it like gas for your car. You need enough to run, but not too much or too little affects your performance. Every day, your body burns calories to keep you alive, your BMR or basal metabolic rate, things like breathing, digestion, and brain function. Then to also move your body and support recovery and growth. The total number is called your TDEE, or total daily energy expenditure. Understanding this number is key. It tells you how much fuel your body needs just to maintain where you are. So let's get into caloric maintenance. So this is currently what I am in, and I have been in for quite some time. And just to give a little backstory on me before I explain all of it, I was in years ago when I first went plant-based. I had sought out a coach who I'm still with today, and I love her. She's become one of my dear friends. And I wanted to eventually build muscle and be really, really toned. So I went through this whole process of a cut, which means I cut down, I think I was eating 2,400 calories at the time. And I cut out, 500 calories of that. I do think my deficit though was 1,700. So I can't exactly remember how much I was eating, but I was at a 1,700 caloric deficit, and which was painful for me, but I ended up losing 10 pounds in a little over 3 months. I got down to a really low body fat percent of 16%, which is not recommended for females to be that low. I mean, I'm also 5'5" and now 145 pounds, but back then that was not it. I was like 130 or 129 in 2021. Yeah, 2021, I was around that weight, which again goes to show weight is nothing because I'm a lot more fit, muscular now, and I weigh a heck of a lot more than I did years ago. So when I went through that cut, I ended up losing weight or losing body fat, putting on some muscle. I mean, it took from my muscle, but I got down to 116 pounds. So mind you, in May of 2021, I was 116 pounds lowest to now being close to 145 pounds maximum. So if you look at it, you're like, oh my gosh, you put on that much weight in 4 years? That's nuts. But my entire body changed while doing it. So during that time, I went through a cut, and then I went into a reverse diet, and that was to help me get to my maintenance, which I stayed in for a little bit. And then I was like, wow, I actually want to build muscle. I want to really focus on building muscle, which means putting on a little bit of body fat, which is fine. So I went there, and it was also to help my body eat more. So at that point, my maximum for eating, I believe, was like 2,600 calories. Now, on a day, I can comfortably eat 3,000 calories. Now, you might be throwing up in your mouth or being like, can this girl stop talking about calories? But I really enjoy tracking because I believe you can see your nutrients that you're having. Make sure you hit your iron, make sure you hit your protein, make sure you hit your fiber, your carbs, make sure you're not high on, I'm plant-based, so I'm not going to see cholesterol. But for anybody tracking, make sure your fiber is on point, your protein's on point, your cholesterol is not out of control. So those are things, and saturated fat. Make sure it's not horrible either. So my whole journey was I was constantly in this like maintenance and then a bulk, and I would do a bulk for like 9 months. And then I would go back to maintenance because I didn't really want to lose like I did before. I didn't want to go down or shred down too much. I just wanted to like maintain, and then I'd go into a bulk again, go back to maintenance and things of that nature and play around with it. But again, highly recommend you have a coach. Like, I'm a coach that has my clients do it, because if I were to do it myself, I would probably drive myself crazy and not do it correctly. So that is why I have a coach write out and tell me what I need to do, because I can do it for everyone else under the sun. I have no problem doing it. I can do it really well. But for myself, I need someone else to do it. I'm like, no, 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 I just need somebody else to worry about it. So anyway, so I've now comfortably been at maintenance. So my maintenance right now is about, I'd say like 2,900 to 3,000 calories a day. And again, that's maintenance. Now, if I were to build muscle bulk, which I'm not looking to do right now, I'm happy where I am. I'm fine where I am. And it's also not, it was a priority back then. And right now it's like my business, my podcast, things of that nature have taken more of a priority in my brain space. So I'm just like, okay, let's just eat, make sure I hit my nutrients and stay here where I'm at, work out, feel good. But I worked my booty off to get where I am right now. So I can be at this point. Now, if I wanted to eat more and put on more muscle, I'd go into a caloric surplus. So, anyway, let me break down what maintenance is. So, maintenance means your calorie intake matches your calorie burn. So, I know Apple Watches will see that. Again, highly recommend a coach do it for you because there's a whole mathematical equation that goes behind it. We calculate a lot of other things that necessarily Apple Watch or your Garmin or whatever is not going to calculate. And that is again if you are trying to change your body composition, you could still do it in any timely fashion. You don't have to track. I just like tracking because it helps get you to your goal faster, right? Like if you think of a goal and you're a distance runner, sorry, I'm digressing again, but I'm going to do it anyway. So if you're a distant runner or you're trying to run a marathon, you're not just gonna run every day and be like, la di da da, I have a marathon, I'm gonna go forever. You're gonna track your distance, how long it took you to get there, so that you know, oh, it took me to run a mile, it took me 7 minutes to run this mile, or 6 minutes to run this mile, which is pretty impressive. But you can say, oh, it took me this time, so let me go ahead next time, do a little better on this time. You're not gonna just gonna run every single day, or maybe you're part of that 1% population that does it, but I would understand you would want to be tracking to get to that goal because you want to get there fast and you want to get there well. So for me, whenever somebody wants to get to a deficit or they want to change their body composition, I say, yeah, tracking might suck. You can probably do it without, but it's going to get you there and it's going to make you a lot more aware of where you are right now and what you need to improve on. So anyway, I'm going to go back to maintenance. So again, it's the exact energy you need. You're not gaining, you're not losing, you're just maintaining. So it's your body weight and composition. So this is a goal for people like myself right now who like their current body and want to maintain performance, are in recovery or building phase. And this is especially after you're going through a cut, which is, I would equate to a diet because a cut is not something that's meant to be sustained for long term. Or if you want to give your metabolism a healthy break from extremes, which is usually what I've seen from clients who come to me and I'm like, okay, let's revamp this. Let's work on this a little bit. So let's get you into a healthy maintenance and create either a new maintenance or help you develop a healthier relationship with your body. So it's a lot easier for you to go into a cut or a build. But again, highly recommend get a coach that's going to help you and that's an expert in this so you don't have to do the brain work. So anyway, we're going to go into the next stage. So a caloric deficit, which is probably what you've heard, otherwise known as a cut or dieting. People will even say, hey, I'm on a diet, which again, I'm not a big fan of the term diet because die is in the word diet, but for the sense of a cut, I can understand and we'll use it for the sense of a cut. So a deficit means that you're eating fewer calories than your body burns. So this forces your body to use stored energy or body fat for fuel. So that is how fat loss happens. But here's the catch. Too big of a deficit can cause fatigue, mood swings, hunger, and muscle loss. So a moderate deficit is around 300 to 500 calories below your maintenance. So that is for a sustainable fat loss. That's something I would recommend for like 3 to 4 months to somebody. But I will also explain to myself, I was in my friend's wedding back in 2022. I was going through a rough breakup. And right after my breakup, I told my coach, I'm like, I want to go into a cut before my friend's wedding. I just want to do something different. And timeline wise, in order to get me into the cut and then build a little bit, like put a little bit on me so I wasn't too lean, I did an aggressive cut. Not something I would recommend. It is like 1,000 calories, or I'll speak from existence. I did about 1,000 calories less than I was eating. So if I was eating like 2,800, I was down to 1,800 calories a day. And I was, girl, I'm just gonna say I was not the best person to be around. I was already going through the breakup and then all of that. So I don't know why I did it, but we did it anyway. And I made it through and I survived and I did it. But probably at some point, again, I'll go into a cut, not an aggressive cut, a cut. But that is what I recommend to people is it takes time. And also you can't, if you are eating low calories, you can't go into a cut from that. You have to go into your maintenance and find that maintenance. But again, get a coach. I'm going to say over and over and over again until it is ingrained in your head. Get an expert to help you through it. That is what coaches are for. Anyway, so just some ways that you can do it if you are going to try to be in a cut or lose weight, whatever, or lose body fat. I don't even want to say weight, lose body fat. It's more higher protein, high fiber, volume foods, strength train a lot more, and then again take diet breaks. That's what I was saying. So and then you have a caloric surplus. So a surplus is what I was in earlier, what I was telling you about how I was able to actually reset my maintenance. So a surplus is when you're eating more calories than your body burns. So this extra energy gets used for muscle growth, recovery, and strength gains. So I remember when I went into my first surplus and I was lying in bed and I was just like shaking. I'm like, I have so much energy and I don't know what to do with myself. I feel like I could run a mile. I feel like I could go outside for 3 hours. Like your girl here was nutso. I had so much energy. And mind you, at the time I was whole food plant-based. Now I'm like, I've integrated semi-processed foods and whatnot. So I have semi-processed foods here and there, but I was whole food plant-based when that happened. And bro, I was dying. I'm like, there's so much energy and I did not know what to do with myself. I had some of my best lifts. I was recovering so well. It was just like nonstop. I mean, I have energy now, but I had like even more energy then because it was wild. But I'm also maintaining right now. So anyway, I digress again. The ideal of this process is to be putting on lean mass, not just fat. So you have to do it systematically. You can't just go and have a dirty bulk, which I'm sure you've heard of, because that's not going to help you either. So again, systematic, get a coach who will help you. So you want to be controlled. It's usually about 200, 300 calories above your maintenance. And during this time, you'd want to like lift heavy. You'd want to prioritize protein. I see plant-based proteins much easier to digest. I can go down a whole rabbit hole of why we should have more plant-based protein in our day-to-day and why all plant-based protein should be out there and prioritize a lot more. But I'm not going to do that at this moment. And during this time, too, if the scale goes up, please do not stress. That is the process working. If the scale is moving either lower or higher during any of these processes, it means it's working. Your body is learning to reset. So track your strength, body composition, not just the number on the scale, please, not just the dang number on the scale. Okay, finding what's right for you is the next thing. So the right calorie zone depends on your current goal and season of life. So you ask yourself, do I want to lose body fat? If so, that's a deficit. Do I want to build muscle or strength? That's a surplus. Do I want to just maintain my energy, focus, and balance where I'm at right now? That is maintenance. So these aren't permanent states. You can move between them over the year or years, like me, because I've been in maintenance for a hot minute here. And just like athletes do with their training cycle. So, just the final takeaway, calories are not good or bad, they're data. They tell you how much fuel you're putting in versus what you're actually burning. If you understand the balance, you can shift your body composition, energy, and performance without the extremes. So, whether your goal is to lean out, build up, or just feel steady, it all starts with awareness, consistency, and patience. So, overview of all of this. This is what I do with my clients. I have a 4-month coaching program where I help them with an entire body composition. We do progress pictures. I do non-scale victories. We have weekly coaching calls. I help them get into a surplus, in a maintenance, or just learn how to eat healthy again and develop a healthy relationship with food. We usually do track. That is something that I encourage my clients to do. And 9 times out of 10, they are very happy to do so because it brings them awareness of how to get through and how to understand what they're actually eating. So again, if I'm like, oh, how's your energy been? And they're like, oh, it's really low the past few days. I've had sugar cravings. I'm like, oh, can I take a glance at what you've been? I mean, they have a tracker that I have them fill out, but I'm like, oh, can I look at it? Or can you input that? And it's usually because protein is low or fiber's really low or their calories are off or something of that nature. And I'm like, you just want to make sure that you are consistent and showing up. And again, find an expert who can help you through this. So you do not have to do the brain work. You do not have to do it alone. I spent hours and hours and hours, if not years, of studying and practicing so that I can perfect and save y'all time as a coach. And I'm sure other coaches have as well, so that you don't have to do the brain work and we can just tell you what to do and you can do it and run with it and be, yay, you're good with your life. So anyway, that is just an overview of a caloric deficit, caloric surplus, and maintenance, and kind of just what I wanted to go through with you today. So I hope you like this episode. And if you'd like more episodes like this, feel free to leave a comment below and continue to keep living the best life by you guys. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. If you would like to continue to get these episodes first thing, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel on YouTube and on Spotify under Best Life by You. If you're interested in working together, y'all can go ahead and visit bestlifebyyou.com/work with me, or go ahead and follow me on Instagram at NutriFitJulia. Send me a DM or just follow for more information, fun tips, and just a lot of humor. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Let's continue to live the best life by you.